Hello, welcome to my live today. Okay, for those who are watching for the first time, I'm Isabella. Welcome to my live. Today, I'm going to talk about. I remember in my previous videos, I've talked about immigrating to the United States of America. I talked about the two different ways in which you can migrate to the United States of America, which is one, you can immigrate, you can go to the United States as an immigrant, okay, through an immigrant program or immigrant visa or a permanent resident visa or green card. That is what most people know it as. Okay, so that is one program. The second program I talked about the non-immigrant program or non-immigrant visa. Okay, program. So today I'm still going to talk about moving to the United States as a non-immigrant, whereby, like I said, the students, people who want to go to the US to study, or you are going to visit, or you're going to for business, or you're going just for like a tourist. Okay, so these are the categories that fall under this non-immigrant program. Okay, so now today I'm just going to talk as if you've gotten now your visa, as for example a visitor. You've moved to the United States. Okay, you have your maybe 5-year visa for you to go and visit. Remember, a non-immigrant visa has conditions. It has conditions and it has an expiry period. All right. You are required or you are expected at the expiry of your visa, you are expected to go back to your country. All right. So now, what I want to talk about today is, or the question I want to answer today is this. Is it possible for one to extend their stay in the US? Maybe your visa is coming to an end. Okay, your stay period is coming to an end. Is it possible for you to extend possibly whatever you went to do there? You are not done, okay, and you would wish to extend your stay. Or two, is it possible for you to change your status? Okay, to change your status. For example, you went on a visit or a visitor visa, okay, and you would like to go to school. So remember that at that point, you want to change from one non-immigrant status, which is a visitor, to another, okay, another non-immigrant category, all right, which is a student. So you still remain as a non-immigrant, but shifting categories from category 1 to category 2. So is it possible to extend? Is it possible to change your status? The answer is yes. It is very possible to extend your stay legally, okay? Or it is very possible to change your status. All right. So, like I said, there are several forms. The website the official US immigration website that I shared, it has all this information that you need. Like I said, you go when you require any form, because anything you do, it begins with filling information. Anything, any process, any program that you want to do or you to request or apply, It starts from you filling information. And filling information, you require a specific form that, goes with the program that you want to request. So go to the menu and choose the forms. Download the form that corresponds to the program that you want to apply. All right. But there's one thing I want to mention. Remember, when you migrate to the US as a non-immigrant, okay? Remember, you are not expected to work. Even if you stay there for 6 months, for 1 year, if you were never given conditions, because sometimes you'll be given, yes, a visa. For instance, depending on which program that you applied under, you can be given a visa, a 5-year visa or a 10-year visa, with conditions that you cannot stay for more than 6 months at the same time, like continuous. Yes, you have this 5-year visa, okay? But there are those visas, depending on the program, that will come with those conditions that you cannot stay in the US continuously for more than 6 months at one time. So you can go, for example, if you went on a visa, a visitor visa, you can go stay for 4 to 5 months, go back to your country again. You can plan another trip. You don't need to go to the embassy again to get another visa, because you are still within. Your visa is still valid. You have a 5-year or 10-year visa, but with conditions that you cannot stay for more than 6 months at one time. So you can always go, come back, always go, come back, always go, come back. And that is what is called maintaining your status. Status in this case, it means the program, the state in which, like, if you are a student, your status is a student. If you went as a visitor, your status is a visitor. If you went as a tourist, your status is a tourist. So if you abide by the conditions that were given, it means you are maintaining, or you have maintained, your status. So even if your visa expires at some point, of course, if it's a 5-year visa, it expires, you can again go back to the embassy, apply for a visa, and you will easily get that, because you never what is that, broke any rule with the first time you were given that, you were granted that visa. You maintained your status and you never broke any rule, okay? So, like I was saying, remember, when you go to the US as a non-immigrant, you are not expected to work. If you go to school, you are expected to be in school because you do not have a work permit. If you are there as a visitor, no working because you do not have a work permit. So if you apply, if you've maintained your status, you've gone to the US, you've stayed as a visitor, you've visited friends, you visited family, you visited whatever places that you planned to do, and you've not gone against any rule or broken any conditions that you were given with your visa, it is very possible you can apply for an extension of your stay. The most important thing is you need to apply before your stay expires, okay? Because if your stay expires, of course, you have to go back to your country. So you can apply, and yes, that can be granted. And this one is depending on if you haven't broken or gone against any condition that you were given when you were granted the visa, okay? I want to another thing, I wanted to also touch on is changing of your status. Just the same way, it applies the same way. Yes, you can change your status from this category to another category. So there's also, it comes to this point, can I change my status from a non-immigrant to an immigrant? Okay, can I change my status from a visitor to a permanent resident? Okay, this is very possible. Let me look at this or give you this case scenario. I think that this will make it easier for you to understand how easy it is for you to change your status while you're in the US as a visitor, as a student, or as a tourist, for you to change your status from a non-immigrant to an immigrant. All right. Look at this scenario. You left your country, you were granted a visa as a visitor, okay? You were given maybe 2 years or 5 years visa to go and visit, okay, the United States. And maybe your visa had conditions that you cannot stay continuously for more than 6 months, all right? So at around maybe when you're there, let's say around maybe 4 months, you feel that you need to stay for longer, than the 6 months. Like I've just mentioned, yes, you can apply for an extension of your stay. Apply for your extension as long as you're within your status, you've not gone against any rule or conditions that you were given, you can be granted that extension of your status, okay? Or sorry, extension of your stay. So, and then at some point, as you are staying there, you're visiting friends and family and all that, you figure out and see and decide that, I feel that I should just go to school. Okay. Remember, there are so many things that they look at. Remember, the first thing, most important, finances. They have to keep on reviewing your finances. Are you in a position to support yourself? If you are requesting for that stay, are you able to support yourself financially for this other extended time that you are requesting? So you've gotten to a point, you've decided, all right, I think I feel like I should go to school. And then just go get the forms and apply for a change. Now, in this case, you're applying for a change of status from one non-immigrant category to another, from a visitor to a student. So they will go through your records and check if you have all the requirements, you meet all the criteria, all the requirements, which of course, basically the first thing is, have you broken any rule for the time you've been here? Okay, and in this point, let's say no. And then another thing, finances. Are you financially able to pay yourself school fees and keep and sustain yourself, okay, for the period of time? If you pass through all the requirements, of course, you'll be granted that change of status. And then in this case, maybe they'll give you maybe a 5-year stay. For example, what is the period of the whatever program that you want to study? If it's a 4-year degree, they can give you maybe a 5-year visa, okay, student visa. So you go to school, and then you are there. Remember, as long as you are a student, you do not have a work permit. You are not expected to work. You start working, you are breaking your status, or you are pushing yourself out of status. That is another term you'll get to understand. Going out of status, it means you have broken some conditions or rules. If you were a student and then you've started working, remember now you are working illegally. Automatically that disqualifies you and it puts you into this other category known as going out of status. So those are the terms that are being, are used when you're in the US. I'm within my status, or I'm out of status. You'll hear people saying, oh, they went to the US and then they went out of status. So they are not able even to travel go back to and visit their families and return to the US, because if they do that, they won't be allowed back to the US. That is the reason why you hear most people have been in the US for years and years and years and not been able to visit their home countries. Reason why? Because not always, but I'm saying that is one of the reasons why. Because they went against the conditions that they were given with the kind of visas or the programs that they went and automatically they found themselves out of status. And when you go out of status, what is supposed to happen? You are supposed to be deported back to your country. All right. So you start living in the US illegally because you're out of status. Okay. So let's say now you've maintained your status. Yes, you are a student, you were extended, or you were, your status changed from a visitor to a student. You've gone through your course. Maybe it was a 4-year degree. You finished. And then in between here, you have applied for jobs. You can apply for jobs, but you're not going to. But when you are applying for a job, now this is we are at a point that you are considering that upon graduation, if possible, I can also, if I get a job offer, remember when I talked about migrating, different ways that you can get a green card from your home country. The one of them was getting a green card through the program of employment, okay, by getting a job offer. So you can look for apply for employment. Remember, wherever you are applying, you have to disclose to your potential employers that you are a student, you are a non-immigrant. But in case if you get a job in the US, you would like to stay and work, okay? Legally work. So if you apply and get a job offer, okay, you've graduated, or maybe after graduation, you've gotten a potential employer who has given you a job offer. Your potential employer can initiate or file a petition for you to be granted permanent residence, because they intend to give you a job, a permanent job. So this is a very clean way or easy way that you can transition from a non-immigrant visitor, a non-immigrant, visitor in the US. You switched or changed your status to become a student still under a non-immigrant program, and then you finished your program, your education program, you've applied for a job, you've gotten a job offer, and your potential employer has filed a petition for you to be granted a permanent residence because they intend to give you a permanent job. So this is a very clean way, very legal, very easy and smooth transition that you can move from a non-immigrant to an immigrant and live permanently as a permanent resident in the United States of America, or a green card holder. All right. So yes, so that is something I wanted to talk about today. Legal ways in which you can either extend your stay in the United States or change your status, either from one category of a non-immigrant to another category, or from a non-immigrant to a permanent resident. It is very possible. All right. So that is all for today. I really hope the information will help you. Maybe either you are already in the US as a non-immigrant and you are figuring out, oh, how is this possible? Yes, it is possible. Or if you haven't still, if you are still considering migrating from your home country to the United States. So these are the different ways. You can either win a green card or get a permanent residence whatever visa from your home country before you migrate or before you move to the US. Or you can apply and get a visa as a non-immigrant, but while you are there, follow those legal processes. You can move from a non-immigrant to an immigrant in a very clean and legal way and live in the United States. All right? All right. I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.